To close their regular season, Virginia Symphony, under the baton of Joanne Falletta and pianist William Wolfram, flat-out wowed the Chrysler Hall audience with a stunning performance of Tchaikovsky's Second Concerto in G major. The tall, burly, and, handsome Wolfram, who looks as though in a former life he might have been a football player, was breathtaking in both bravura statements and simpler lyrical melody. In the first movement, he displayed a powerful combination of declarative emphasis and skeins of notes that rippled like water in wind. In the second movement, Concertmaster von Armstrong had a beautiful violin melody reminiscent of the Ave Maria. Wolfram responded in thoughtful, pensive phrases, answered in turn by Armstrong and the strings. Violin, piano, and Michael Daniels' singing cello formed a striking trio in that slow movement, going very deep and dark. The final movement was bright and brilliant with crisp playing and perfect articulation, all at great speed. It was a spectacular performance, well worth hearing again when WHRO airs it on Wednesday, June 6 at 9 p.m. The evening had begun with Les Chants de la Mer, sea songs by Philippe Gaubert, a younger contemporary of Ravel and Debussy. The first movement illustrated the sea's changing colors with murmuring cellos, basses, and woodwinds, while the violins had the melody. In the scherzo movement, there were harp glissandos and cheerful strings and woodwinds, with ripples of sound like sunlight glancing on the waves below a cliff. The French horns began the third movement with a trumpet melody played by David von der Heide and great sweetness in the strings. Falletta brought out the nicely contrasting dynamics. It was all very impressionist and very lovely. The Divertimento from Le Baiser de la Fée, The Fairy's Kiss, was a four-movement set of highlights from the ballet by Igor Stravinsky, based loosely on Hans Christian Andersen's story The Ice Maiden. Stravinsky based his ballet on little-known themes by Tchaikovsky, reinterpreting them for the ballet. In the mind's eye, one could see the dancers in the scurrying woodwinds and swelling tempos, crisp rhythm, and a dreamy little waltz. The third movement in particular had lovely ensemble playing, and Falletta brought out all the emotional colors. The final movement, Pas de deux, featured Deborah Cross's flute and Patty Carlson's clarinet, both gorgeous. The audience responded with well-deserved shouts of "Bravo! Bravo!" At the final concert of the season, it has become a Virginia Symphony custom to honor milestones of long service to the orchestra. Bassist Jeremy Barth and bassoonist Laura Leisering have served for 5 years. Violinist Seiko Syverson has been with the orchestra for 15 years. For a quarter of a century, symphony audiences have heard cellist Nancy Keevan, violinist Linda Hurwitz, principal oboist Shirley Gagiri, percussionist Tim Bishop, and clarinetist Scott Boyer. It's been 30 years for hornist Wilfred Holcomb, and also for Robert Cross, principal percussionist extraordinaire and executive director and artistic director of the fabulous Virginia Arts Festival. For principal timpanist John Lindberg, it's been an astonishing 46 years. That's half the symphony's 92-year history. Lindberg is retiring, having premiered 2 major works, also having been an active labor leader, and he will continue to teach at the College of William and Mary. Trombonist Scott McElroy reminisced about how at his first performance with the symphony 20 years ago, it was Lindberg who welcomed him. Maestra Falletta said simply, "He has spoiled me for other timpanists. Godspeed, Mr. Lindberg. May you have a happy and fulfilling retirement." From the other side of the footlights, I'm M.D. Ridge.